Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Gadigal people.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Friday, April 28. In Squiz Kids Today, India to overtake China in population race. All hail the chocolate king. Tassie gets its AFL team and the moose that went to the movies. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Do you know which country in the world has the most number of people living in it? Well, it's China, and it's been China for a very long time. But that is set to change, with India about to become the most populated country on the planet. India, as you probably know, is a country in Southeast Asia. In terms of size, it's the 7th largest country in the world. But in terms of people, it's currently the 2nd most populated country on the planet. The United Nations has been recording population data since 1950, and China has always had the biggest population since records began. But a report released this week by the United Nations shows that by June of this year, India is set to overtake China, reaching 1.4286 billion people. That's 1,428,600,000 people. Wowzers. And by June, that means that there will be roughly 2.9 million more people living in India than there are living in China. Now, just to put that in perspective, we have just over 26 million people living here in Australia. Yes, that's million with an M, not billion with a B. So, yeah, we've got a little bit of catching up to do.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in England. Wait, what? England? Again? We landed there yesterday. Must get that globe looked at. Now, why are we back in England? Because a team of sculptors there have created a life-size model of King Charles, using nothing but delicious Milky Ways, Twixes, Galaxies, Bounties and Malteser chocolates. And the result is a delicious, remarkable chocolate sculpture. I've put a link in our episode notes so you can have a look. The resemblance to the royal is really quite uncanny. The chocolate company behind the creation have made a chocolate version of King Charles III to celebrate his coronation, which is happening next week in London. As we've discussed before, a coronation is a ceremony where a crown is plonked on someone's head and they are declared king or queen. But really, the most important question is, who gets to eat it?
Sport time!
After decades of dreaming, a path is being paved for Tasmania to get its own AFL team. Can I get a hallelujah? From 2027, the AFL looks likely to have amongst its ranks the Tassie Devils, after Aussie PM Anthony Albanese yesterday committed to help build a stadium in Hobart. Tasmania has been wanting its own team in the AFL for years and years, so lots of folk on the Apple Isle are understandably very excited. But what does it mean for AFL fans in general? Well, any of your favourite players from other teams could be transferred from their current team to add to Tassie's roster to make sure the team there in Tassie has a fighting chance when it joins the competition. There's also the fact that when the Tassie team plays the Melbourne Football Club, it will be the Devils against the Demons. I wonder who'll have rights to the pitchfork. Let the games begin.
Believe it or not.
If I told you that a moose went to the movies in Alaska last week, you'd think I was kidding, right? But I'm not. And as the video in today's episode notes shows, the moose on the loose in the American state not only walked into the cinema foyer, he helped himself to a bucket of buttery popcorn as the candy bar attendant watched on in disbelief. National Parks authorities in Alaska reckon there are up to 200,000 moose in the wild in the rugged northern state. So was it the popcorn that drew him in, or did he just really want to see the Super Mario movie? I'm going to say it was Mario. Are you looking for a good book to read? Do you want to hear from other Squiz Kids about the best books out there right now? Then keep on listening at the end of this episode for the April edition of the Squiz Kids Book Club. Join Catch the Reading Bug and his crew of primary school book reviewers as they provide the lowdown on the best books to satisfy the hungriest reading bug or the most reluctant of readers. If you're listening to this on a podcasting app, the April Book Club ep should play immediately after this episode. Otherwise, you can find it anytime you want in the main Squiz Kids podcast feed, via our website squizkids.com.au, or via the link in today's episode notes. And don't forget, we're always looking for kids to help us review books, so don't just sit there, get involved.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What's expected to be the name of the new Tasmanian AFL team? Yeah, that's right, they're expecting to call themselves the Tassie Devils. Question number 2. Which country will soon be the most populous in the world? Yeah, you got it, it's India. Question number 3. What has been used in England to make a sculpture of King Charles? Yeah, that's right, it's chocolate.
Shout-outs.
It's April 28. Today is Pay It Forward Day. So what does that mean? It means being nice just for the sake of putting some kindness out into the world. So make sure you do something nice for someone else today. Although that should be our motto every day. It's also a Friday, and you know what that means. Lots of birthday shout-outs, and a perfect excuse to break out the birthday reggae tune. Hit it! Happy birthday today to Zane from Oran Park, Kanan from Montmorency, Emma from Ivanhoe, Charlotte from Albany Hills, Otto from Lane Cove, Izzy from Belrose, Maddie from Echuca, Lily and Lila, twins from Mount Gambier, Emily from Thirroul, Emma from Cherrybrook, and Frederick from Albion Park. And to everybody having a birthday over this coming weekend, happy birthday to Layla from Junee, Sylvie from Thornbury, Karina from Brighton, Elliot from Seaford, Luca from Yandina, Teddy from Port Wollonga, Eowyn from Wagga Wagga, Sam from Drummoyne, and Evita from Floraville. And because many of you celebrated a birthday over the Easter holidays, we're going to continue catching up on belated birthday shout-outs because everyone deserves a birthday shout-out. And it's a happy Easter holiday belated birthday shout-out to Katya from Oak Park, Ali, Piper and Tilly from Junee, Milan from Point Cook, Alan from Ringwood North, Wendy from St Ives, Rowan from The Gap, Lily from Flagstaff Hill, Sid from Yass, Tilly from Escol Park, Sophia from Cannon Hill, Gus from Willunga, Sienna from Forest Lake, Josie from Toowong and Savannah from Albany Hills. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@squiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again on Monday. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.